Hey guys!
Hi everyone! Where's my hand? There it is. Welcome back.
It's normally attached to
my wrist.
your arm.
Typically, yes.
Arm bone connected to the hand bone. Okay, guys, hello and welcome back to our weekly installment of Facebook Live.
Yep, I don't even know what week we're on.
We're almost done with the spring semester, is all I can think of.
I'm lucky to remember what day of the week it is. So.
Seriously, it's Tuesday, which is only how I know because I'm here.
That's right.
Right. I think we've got what? We've got next week's spring break.
That's
yes,
right.
Did I make that up? Okay, and then we've got a week, 2 weeks. The 2 weeks and then finals?
That's right. Yeah, finals are the last week of April, right?
So technically we have like, what, 4 weeks left?
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks of class? Okay, so you guys,
we're almost there.
If we make it to spring break, we'll be all right.
Good to go.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Well, first we should introduce ourselves.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because you can see we have so many.
No one is watching right now.
Oh man, we can talk about whatever we wanted to.
We're totally alone in the world. Okay,
so hello world. So today we're going to talk about a strategy for finding. Right. I got off track.
Yeah, you were like, no, we shouldn't, and you were like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I realized no one. Oh, wait, someone's here.
Perfect time to introduce ourselves.
Okay, now there are 2 people. Good.
Okay. Now, huge viewership.
Mm-hmm.
Huge viewership. It's like the Oscars.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Beth and Stephanie, and I am the Arts and Humanities Librarian here at the Marx Library at the University of South Alabama.
And I am Stephanie Eversard. I'm the Social Sciences Librarian here at the Marx Library.
Yes.
And we do this every Tuesday at 2. It's a chance for students to
ask questions, which we would love.
Questions. You've got like 2 librarians.
Captive.
I
mean, seriously, like, it's hard to
catch us.
It really is. I mean, like, yeah, so now's your chance to ask us, like, unicorns in the wild, right? Like, they're 2 narwhals right here, right now, ready to answer all your questions that you have, right? I just compared us to whales.
Not just any whales, narwhals. Yeah.
Mythical, awesome. Okay. So today,
narwhals are real.
They're real, but they're real, but they're rare, right?
They are rare.
Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure you were.
They're the unicorns of the sea, although they're real. The unicorns aren't real,
as far as we know.
But maybe, right? Yeah. Neither is Bigfoot.
I don't know. There was that History Channel. Remember that they did?
History Channel also has like, what is it? Like ancient astronaut theorists.
Right.
Like, what is that?
No, they did a show. It was about mermaids, and then they had to send out a disclaimer because there were people watching it thinking it was real. It was supposed to be like a mockumentary, you know?
Oh my god, like what's the one that like made everybody go crazy? War of the Worlds.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, okay, except this is about mermaids, so hopefully people weren't throwing themselves out of buildings.
Or you don't know how to handle it.
Mermaid! Okay, yeah, so if you don't know about the whole War of the Worlds thing, we'll put a link in the comments.
Yeah.
Because that's a cool,
the whole broadcast is on Spotify.
Is it really?
It is, yeah.
Okay, well.
I've listened to it straight through.
Oh my god, have you really? You're such a nerd, I love it.
But we did a production of it.
Oh, okay, well
it was research.
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, we'll drop a comment, so if you don't know what it is, you'll now know, and then you'll win at Jeopardy. Or Trivial Pursuit. Or whatever.
Trivial Pursuit. I'm supposed to promote something.
Go ahead.
Okay, so remember last week we mentioned our government documents. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary being a federal depository. Thank you. Goodness. I was trying to think of where the L goes.
Words. FDLP.
Yeah.
Federal Library Depository Program.
Federal Depository Library.
FDLP. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. There we go.
But they are having lots of cool events, and one of those events is a trivia game on the 3rd floor. So there are 2 quizzes. I can't seem to figure out my hands in this thing. Where?
I'm in a glass case of emotion. Okay.
There are 2 quizzes. One is about the Constitution, and the other is about the year 1968, which was 50 years ago. So you go up there and you answer questions on a little sheet of paper.
We should go do it and post our scores.
We could post our scores, but we don't qualify for the prize.
No, it's okay. I just want to see my knowledge about 1968.
Yeah, I looked at the quiz and put it down pretty quick.
Are they hard?
I saw the first one. I was like, I'm not so sure about this.
Okay, they're gonna be hard.
We should probably do them. They're probably not that hard. I didn't really think.
We're probably overthinking them. We're probably like,
I probably didn't really think. I didn't really think about it. I saw the question and then I didn't read the answer.
Okay, so is that happening just today?
I think the quiz part is just today. I'm not.
What can you win?
Sure. They have 2 prizes. One of them is, I'm trying to remember what
I'm
the
quizzing you, I'm sorry.
prizes are. I have no idea.
Either way, they're good.
They're good prizes. I
Maybe.
assume.
We assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's-
go.
There are 2 prizes, so pretty good chances of winning.
Yeah, go win. Anything like pretty much anything you do in the library, there's an excellent chance you're gonna win because it's not like you're playing the lotto where there's like 40 million people. Like there's a good chance you'll win.
Yeah. Odds are in your favor.
Okay, so there's your shameless plug.
Yeah.
Although shameless not for us, for your department.
It's not. No.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure what I'm saying.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, go do that. So today we're
like, stop blabbering.
whatever. Today we're going to talk about kind of something. How do we start this? A research strategy, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay,
A way
we'll call it
of
that.
finding resources.
Yeah. So we talked a lot about which we have up to this point. We've talked a lot about like maybe when we talked about like English 102, we talked a lot about like library databases, right? So instead of searching from scratch,
Right.
I like that.
Searching from scratch.
Searching from scratch.
Yeah.
Okay, so like when you only have kind of an idea of a topic and you don't really have any kind of sources in your hand, right?
Right.
So we talked about that. But what happens?
If you've already got something.
Yeah. What do you do now? Are you just done?
No, you're never done.
Never done. I mean, at some point you have to be done to write the paper, but
You're never
but
really
you're
done.
never really done. And so Stephanie and I teach this a lot in our upper level courses, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't use it in like English 102 or any class.
Anytime you're doing research.
Yeah. And it's something we call
Citation mining.
yay! It sounds very exciting.
It is exciting.
And it literally is mining the bibliography of what you are works cited, depending on what citation style you're using, of the resource that you have to locate other relevant resources.
Right. So when you have a source in your hand, that person or people, they have cited persons. They've cited their sources, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, you shouldn't be using it. You shouldn't be using it if they haven't cited their sources. Don't use it. That would be a really bad sign.
Yeah, just put it down.
Put it down.
Burn it.
Walk away.
Light it on fire. You shouldn't use it for your paper.
But if you don't have a flaming mess of an uncited article in front of you, you can use its citations to find more sources for yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so remember, scholarship is a conversation. So whenever a person doing a study or something, whatever, writing a paper, they enter into a conversation. And that conversation is composed of other like critical work, right? Or other studies or whatever. And they should be, if they're doing their job, which they probably are if they got published, right?
They should be talking about all these other sources. They should be talking about how they fit into this conversation, how they agree, how they disagree, how these sources talk to each other. But they're going to be mentioning a whole lot of other people talking about the exact same topic.
Yeah, and if you're, okay, so these kind of get hidden, right? In some humanities papers, right? They'll get a little bit hidden, but like in a social science or science paper, right?
Right up front.
Don't they put them in like a whole review, like it's the lit review portion.
Right, yeah, lit review.
Yeah.
What you were trying to say there. Yeah, almost always.
It's not my jam.
Always an article is going to start with a literature review. And that is a review of, it's not literature like Beth deals with. It's literature meaning like everything that's been written.
Critical body.
Yeah, critical body. It's all the stuff that is relevant to that topic, all the important stuff. They're going to talk about it all at once at the beginning.
Yeah, and like humanities, we tend to bury the lit review, right?
We
So we'll we bury the headline. We'll bury it like in the paper. So we'll bring up, Blankenship. We agree or disagree, right? Or this is the statement that they made about this, right? Whatever. So while we still engage with the critical conversation, it's not as
front-loaded.
Right. And obvious, maybe?
Yeah,
it's
not as
much
obvious.
More subtle in our engagement with it.
You're much more difficult, is what you
are.
Right.
Story of my life. Difficult and complicated. So I think what Stephanie and I are saying is that like you should, when you're reading a paper, you should be able to see kind of that the author's engagement with these other scholars, right? And if they're doing a good job, which we hope that they are, right? And they've been peer reviewed, we kind of have an idea that they have done a good job. They really have looked at all the major like critical conversation that they should have. They haven't missed anything big.
Right.
So you should pay attention and make sure that you're not missing anything big either.
So basically, when you find a good article, that person's done a lot of the legwork for you.
Stand on the shoulders of giants.
That's right. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Oh, look at us, all these like turn of phrase today. So right, don't try to reinvent the wheel. And a lot of hopefully in your own searching, you will have found some of the articles or sources, whatever, that they're using in their own paper. But you want to make sure that you're not missing anything big.
Right. And if you see the same source come up again and again,
and you don't have it,
you should probably go get it.
Get your little hands paws on it, right?
So how do they get their paws on something if you're citation mining?
Okay, so before we get there,
Okay.
I just wanted, this is kind of like my little thing that I always say, that I feel like may tie back to like English 102, okay? So in English 102, your instructor is forcing you against your will, probably, to do like hand-done MLA citations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you were like punching them out like with a little stamping machine at the end of your paper, and you're grumbling about it and you're hating it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we promise it's not academic hazing, because what they're doing is they're asking you to kind of think about how these citations are constructed, right? Is this a book? Is this a journal? What kind of source am I dealing with? And that's really important when you go to mine a citation, because you need to know what you're looking for.
That's a really good point. Yes.
So if you're looking for a book, you're going to go to a different place on the library website than if you were looking for a journal article.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to think of like raw data, perhaps, right? So while that,
or even like with some of my communication folks, they might be looking at a broadcast.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I don't even think like in crazy
So
terms
you have
like that.
you have to be able to figure out what it even is before you can start to.
Yeah, and they're not going to tell you like in little parentheses after the citation, this is a book, right? Or article or book chapter, right? They're not going to tell you like chapter in a larger critical anthology. They're not going to tell you that. You're going to have to be able to read the citation.
Right, read how it's formatted and figure out
what it is.
What kind of source it is.
Yeah.
I think it also underscores how important it is to do citations to begin with.
Yes. Oh my God.
Students,
round of applause.
Because people have to be able to find that information. That's one of the main reasons we cite, is so that other people can join in the conversation with us.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times students feel like the main reason we cite is so that we avoid cheating, right? That we avoid the idea of plagiarism. But really, let's make the positive spin on that and say, like, you're exactly right. Like, it's so that we are illustrating that we are joining into a larger conversation, and that we, as another scholar coming behind you, let's say if I was coming behind you, I could backtrack to all of the stuff that you're looking at, right? So yeah, let's not think about it like avoiding cheating. Let's talk about like joining a community.
And I'll tell you what, I have tried to citation mine, and the author had the incorrect citation.
Ooh, me too, and it's super frustrating.
It is very frustrating.
You were like,
I was like, that is the wrong volume.
I know that's the wrong issue. That is the wrong year. Yeah, it's very frustrating. But I mean,
I have to find this the hard way.
I know. Crumble. But then it's kind of hopefully that's rare.
It is. It's very rare. Yeah, it's very
They
rare.
obviously didn't have a librarian help them with their check their citation.
No.
But yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there, that make sure you know what you're looking for, and to kind of give a shout out to those English 102 instructors that are not just academically hazing you. They are actually trying to teach you something.
It's useful. It's actually
useful. Promise. Okay, so now that we talked about that, if we have a citation,
then we have something we can work with.
Yes. So do we since I have a citation, do I go back into the database and try to search for, how do I find it?
Well, that's a really bad way to start.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes if you're really lucky, that might work, but
you're going to get frustrated.
You're going to get frustrated. So let's think about what we're looking for. We're looking for
the book, right?
Yeah. Okay. So if we're looking for a book, where would we go? How do we normally start looking for books?
We want to see if we have it first, right? So we're going to look in our catalog, which is South Cat.
Yeah. So remember, that's where you go for books. South Cat. We talked about that in another episode.
Yes. So we would look in there and probably search by title.
So whether it's a book you know we have or a book you're hoping we might have, you go to South Cat.
Right. And unless you're wow, you would know the collection. That's pretty impressive. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to know if we have it or not, right? Yeah. So you'll check the South Cat to see if we've got it. And if we do, hooray! It's a good day for you.
So I think probably the easiest way to search South Cat would be by the title of the book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people always do, I think maybe this is kind of a bookstore model. People always want to do author searches and don't really understand that. I don't know. So just do a title search. Remember, something when you do a title search, articles A, N, and E don't mean anything in library land, so leave them out.
And also, if you copy and paste, be careful of weird characters like hyphens or commas or colons, because those things can weird up a search too.
Yeah, and I generally like kind of when I search by title, because academics love to do like title, colon, subtitle, right? It's kind of our jam.
And sometimes things in parentheses.
Yeah, so I just take out everything after the colon just to make sure that I don't get anything like clunky in here.
I do too, unless the first part is really, really generic. Like,
yeah, something like
communication, colon.
Yeah, oh God. I'm like, come on, people. I know, really.
In which case, I'll probably just do the part.
The one I see all the time is on writing. And I'm like,
that's helpful.
Thanks, guys.
If you see a book, go straight to the catalog.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah.
Now, where it gets a little weirdsville.
When you're looking for a journal article.
Yeah.
So, first thing you want to do is make sure we actually have the journal in which the article is published. So that's where reading the citation is really useful, because you have to be able to find that journal name.
Yes, not the article name.
The journal.
The journal title.
So the container. Right? That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. That's probably the best way of saying
the big thing.
The bigger thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, since you have the journal title from your citation, where do we go?
We have a journalist. Library has a journalist, so you can go to see if we have that journal. And that's actually linked in one of those two gray boxes.
It's the first gray box under library quick links.
Right.
It's like the fourth link down, I think.
Yeah.
Been here a while. I think it's the journal and ebook list is the technical title, right? So then you would just, up in the box at the top, you start typing the journal name in, and because our little A to Z link resolver thing's smart, if we have it, it'll like kind of fill it in for you.
It'll populate it. One thing I've noticed about that is if the journal title uses an ampersand.
Oh, God.
Use an ampersand, the little and symbol. I guess our viewers know that, right?
Let's hope so.
If it uses an ampersand, use the ampersand when searching. If it uses the word and, use the word and when searching.
Also, sometimes, too, other little weird, quirky things about A to Z link resolver is sometimes, and looking at a bibliography or citation or works cited or whatever, sometimes, depending upon the journal, they will abbreviate the journal name. So I'm thinking like JMLA or kind of some of those.
Yeah, you see it a lot.
Yeah, so some journals are cool with you abbreviating other journal names, especially if that's the journal that it's in. Right? So the journal that the article is in, the other article.
And those are pretty easy to recognize because there can be little initials at the bottom. It's not going to look like a whole. It's going to have,
it's going to have like JMLA or
instead of journal.
And sometimes, if you do the A to Z link resolver, you're probably going to want to type out the full title.
Right.
And if you're unaware of what that is, and this happens to me sometimes too, I don't know the abbreviation, just throw that into Google.
That's what I do. Yeah. I just Google the abbreviation.
And generally they're like usually referred to that abbreviation. So you're not going to like run into multiple journal titles that have the same abbreviation.
No, I don't think that's ever happened to me.
Me either.
Yeah.
Or it's been so obvious that it wasn't like the journal of like orthopedic medicine.
Right.
So just throw that into
you're not going to find articles about Hamlet in there.
Probably. Alas, poor Yorick. I don't know. That is a skull. I don't know. But
very nice.
Did you like that? Okay. But 90% of the time, yes, we will not. You will not be. It'll make sense to you. But what I'm trying to say, a long way around, is make sure you do not the abbreviated title, but the full title in the journal list.
Long story short.
Yes.
Okay, so if we do have the journal, what's the next step? It's harder to talk about.
So maybe we'll make like a little, like a super fast screen.
Yeah, we can do that.
We can totally do that. But we'll kind of walk through the things. So if we do have the journal, it'll give you a record and it will tell you our holdings, which some journals, if we do our job like we're supposed to, we try not to buy the same journal at least the same years, like overlapping into different databases, right? Sometimes that's unavoidable because of like weird things. But so you'll see the holdings, and the holdings will include years. So since you have the full citation, you're fine because you know what year you're looking for.
So it's going to be a list of different ways to access it.
Yeah, different database names.
Yeah, and at the end, it's going to say what years we have. So make sure that the year of your thing falls within those years.
Yeah. And sometimes you'll run across a journal that'll have like a embargo, like a current year. I think year is a normal restriction. I don't know. Yours probably have more restricted access than mine.
Some of them, like one of them has like a 6-year rolling. It's weird. Yeah. So you want to make sure it's actually in there before you start looking for it.
Yeah. And if you have questions about like kind of you run into like an embargo or anything like that, just shoot your liaison librarian an email.
They'll help you.
We'll totally help you figure it out. Because I mean, sometimes things are weird. Like, things are weird. Okay, so then once let's say you've got, I don't know, we'll just pick a date, 1994, and we have 94 in the collection. You just click on the appropriate database with the right date range, and then you click on your volume and your issue.
So you want to follow all the pieces of the citation. So you're going to see volume.
Super important.
That's why it's important to read. So you got to know which number is the volume, which number is the issue. And if you didn't learn all that stuff in MLA, it's going to be really hard to read.
Yeah.
So then you just follow it. It's
like, it's super easy. It's like following. Counting. And then you just click on full text or PDF or whatever, depending on what the database calls it. And then there's your journal article.
There it is. You found another source.
Super easy. And the cool thing about, which we totally didn't mention, the cool thing about all these sources that you're finding is you already know they're relevant.
Like, so you're not like wasting a bunch of time hoping you find something good. You know it's good. Because someone writing about the topic has already talked about it.
Yeah, like you know it's good stuff. We should say though, so that's if we have it, right?
Yeah. So what do we do if we don't have it?
Which we talked about interlibrary loan. So if you don't know about interlibrary loan, go back and watch is it last semester?
It's last semester. Yeah, we had a special guest star talking about interlibrary loan.
Debbie, that's you.
Yes.
Our ILL coordinator.
But they are amazing. They can get you just about anything. So
briefly, just what's ILL? Like super briefly.
Interlibrary loan lets us get stuff that other libraries have because we can't have everything. So if we don't have something, we almost always can get it from another library. So you can find that on the library homepage underneath library resources. Library resources?
Yes.
Okay. I was second guessing it all of a sudden.
Yes, you're totally right.
Under library resources, and you register for it just like you do any other online account, and then and here's another reason the citation is important.
Oh yes! Oh my God.
There will be a form in interlibrary loan where you're going to plug in all that information. So author, article title,
inclusive pages.
Yeah, what pages it's on.
Volume and issue.
Name of the journal, volume and issue, so year, all that stuff that's in the citation. You're gonna all plug it all into the ILL request.
Yeah. So when we talk about ILL, we can generally stuff that gets requested. So journal articles, but also books, like full length books too. So if you run across and you look in the catalog and we don't have a book, don't fret because we can probably get it for you.
So let's talk maybe a minute about book chapters. If you come across a book chapter,
welcome to the humanities.
Yeah. Anthropology's like that too.
They're kind of a humanity.
They are. Yeah.
Welcome to our side.
Make sure you look for the book and not the
chapter name.
Not the chapter name.
Yes.
So
for
when you go to South Cat, first again read the citation. You should be able to tell if it's a book chapter, and then you'll look for the book itself. And so if you need to but you can request the chapter through ILL.
Yeah, I think we may have talked about this in ILL. I don't remember, but I kind of encourage, if you have the time, to request the full book. If you're not on a time crunch. If you're on a time crunch, you can request just the book chapter. Why I like the full book is because I don't have to worry about if the notes are in a different place. And I also want to see their works cited or bibliography.
Right.
So
there's a good chance there's something else that's useful to you in that book.
And depending upon the chapter, the way the book is organized, sometimes the footnote or endnotes and bibliography will be at the end of the chapter, or sometimes they'll be at the end of the entire collection.
Yeah.
And you might have some freshmen, I don't know, at some other institution at the ILL scanning your book chapter, and they may not think for you that you might want that. So,
that's a really good point.
Yeah, and so if you're in a time crunch though, and you're requesting just a book chapter, there's a little notes field in the ILL request, and I always tell people to ask to include any notes and works cited bibliography. And if you're an art person out there, this actually applies for everybody. Any images,
yeah, for sure.
So graphs, I don't know, graphs.
Yeah.
We don't do graphs in my world, but I'm mainly thinking for art people.
Graphs, charts, photographs.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So make sure that if it's you think there might be image heavy, that they include it in the images for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
All right, awesome.
Okay, so anything else about citation mining? I mean, we've gone down quite a rabbit hole about it, but it's really, really cool.
It is very cool, and it can save you a lot of time because then you're not starting, like we said, you're not starting from scratch. You're building, you're really participating in this conversation, and you're listening to what other people have said already.
Yeah.
So practical sense, it saves you time. Academic sense, it's a really, really good thing to do.
Really good thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so kind of what you're saying is we citation mining is not the initial beginning of research.
No.
Right? It only can come after you've located a couple relevant sources.
Right, you've got to have something to
You've
mind.
got to have something in mind. So it's kind of like I consider it kind of the last step
It's much later.
of research, right?
Or if you hit a wall, sometimes it's useful.
Yeah.
Like if you've only found a couple of sources and you just can't seem to find anything else, you can look at the handful that you have already.
Yes.
And see what they're using.
And not also use citation mining to find primary source material.
Absolutely, yeah. So you can see what they're referring
what
to.
they're
Yeah.
looking at, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard to kind of imagine from scratch where we might find this data or where we might find this, 17th century newspaper article or whatever.
Right.
But so if we look at their works cited, then we can kind of backtrack and see what they're looking at, right? Because as a student, you're probably not stumbling around the archives or you're not collecting raw data.
Right.
So the research process is a little backwards
Yeah.
than it would be in the wild.
I
sense?
think it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a great place to find that. So if you need raw data about something, I don't know, cellular use in cars, find an article and then look to see where they got the data.
Right. Because it can be very hard to find that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have students do that all the time.
Super smart. So that works really well for English 102, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So citation mining. It's brilliant.
Yes, it's amazing.
And so people don't think about it. And I'm like, yes, it's there.
It will change your life.
We should get a t-shirt. This is like citation mining.
We have so many dorky
Okay.
library t-shirts.
Well, I mean, we did join a dorky profession. Like, let's do it. Speaking of t-shirts. Yeah, okay, so citation mining, that's it.
That's it.
If you have questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with your liaison librarian.
Yeah, let us know.
Because remember, each discipline's a little bit different, too.
Mhm.
So stuff that her people do, my people don't, and she knows way better about how to mine that lit review for her folks than I do. So just ask away.
Yeah, I have taught so much citation mining.
I do, too.
We can definitely help.
We can help you. Okay, so what's next week? Next week is spring break.
Yeah, so we are going to do the really exciting. We needed to have some like lays and.
Yeah, because we'll be here.
No, we're going to be here. That's right. Librarians don't get spring break off.
So we're going to do Librarians Gone Mild. And we're going to talk about what we do when y'all aren't here.
Yeah, because we're still working.
Yeah, so a little bit, kind of a little day in the life, but day in the life when y'all aren't here.
Right.
So get to kind of sneak peek into what we do.
It's exciting.
Yeah. And then after that is National Library Week, right?
Yes, that's right.
So we got all kind of cool stuff planned. At least they did, the PR committee.
Yeah, we have some fun stuff.
So yeah, we'll be talking about what National Library Week is and all the cool stuff that our library is going to be doing for National Library Week during that Facebook.
Yes.
And then after that
is the week before finals, right?
Before finals, and that's going to be our
Save the Files.
Save the Files campaign. So look for that forthcoming. It's going to be exciting. We're going to be like bombarding you with awesomeness. And then it's finals, and then we're out of here.
Yep, and we're out for the summer.
I mean, we'll be here.
Well,
but
we're here.
we
We're
won't be
always
doing-
here.
I know.
Like we live here.
I mean, we really don't.
No,
live
we don't.
here, but like it feels like we do. Okay, so social media jazz.
All right, so you're on Facebook right
You're really
now.
good at this, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already, go ahead and like us. Click that little thumbs up. We're also on Twitter as USA_library. Sad.
That emoji.
It is. It is. So USA_library for Twitter. We are on Instagram as Marx.library.
Dude, our Instagram's blowing up.
Yeah, Instagram's where it's at.
Yeah.
And we are on YouTube as Marx Library Live, where you can see all previous episodes.
So go back and watch
Brush up.
ILL one if you want to know more about ILL.
Or the one about South Cat if you want to know more about finding books.
Go brush.
Brush. Like brush up, brush up, brush up.
Right. All right, guys. Nerds.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anything else we should say before we sign off?
I think we probably should quit while we're ahead.
Oh my God, I know we're getting like slap happy.
Yeah.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye,
Have a nice rest of the week and have a nice spring break.
Yeah, have a great spring break.
Yeah, hopefully see you guys next week.
Yeah, I know they're going to tune in.
For sure.
What's
On the
their
beach.
mind, yeah.
Bye guys.
Bye everyone.